Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. I've got to show my mug. New birthday present. Very nice. Thank you, daughter, director, producer. Today I've been asked if I'd do a review of my favourite current pen, which is this, Visconti Homo Sapiens. So let's have a look at it. Okay. So here we are with a Visconti Homo Sapiens. Now the first thing you'll notice with this is it is not very shiny. I got this about 4 years ago when I was working at university, and my favourite pen at the time was my Conway Stewart Churchill, because I just adored that pen. It was very, very nice, good comfortable pen, a little bit over light for my taste, but a very good pen even so. The trouble was, carrying it round to university and back every day, it started getting scratched. This has not been scratched. As you can see, there's no marks of chips or scratches on this, and the reason for that is it is as hard as rock. And I don't mean that as a joke or a metaphor, it is rock. This is made from basaltic lava from Mount Etna. And it's wonderful stuff. I actually had it in a pocket once and I got a bit alarmed because down here there were some white marks appeared. And I realised later that the shirt pocket had a metal zip inside it. And I thought, oh hell, it scratched my new Visconti. No, it hadn't. The Visconti had scratched the metal zip and taken some of the metal off it. I rubbed the Visconti and it all came away. So basic design, let's have a look at it. Cap obviously with two rings. It's got another ring here that says Homo Sapiens, if you can see that. There's a third ring at the back which shows where there's an end cap. I'll come to that in a minute. On the cap itself, it comes automatically with a Visconti logo. Mine has got MJ for my name. And Visconti has this clever little system where there's a magnet inside the cap and you can change whatever the top is to suit yourself basically. You can have various semi-precious or precious stones, you can have different star signs, you can have anything you want, but I liked the idea of just having my name in the top. The clip is Visconti's standard type of clip. Dante Del Vecchio, who owns Visconti and set up the company back in '88 I think, thought that he wanted something that would express the concept of being a bridge between people and between cultures. So he had this idea of a clip that's made to look like a bridge. It's actually made to look like the arch in the Ponte Vecchio in Florence, which is where they're based. But the clip itself is spring loaded. It's got a really good action. I find you can just pick it up, hold it like that, put it into your shirt pocket and it'll stay there. It's a very, very efficient clip. There's something else here though, which is even more interesting. You can see, I hope, there's a sort of a tick there and there and there. There's 5 ticks going all the way around the pen. Inside the cap there are 5 little lugs, which you might be able to just see one there. Very difficult to see because they're very fine. But the thing I love about this pen is for quick notes, it's just a 1/5 turn and it locks or unlocks. So that little tick actually operates like an interrupted screw thread to an extent. Very, very quick bayonet fit. I absolutely love that. It's the only pen I've got which is absolutely reliable. It won't fall off in my pocket, which once happened with another fountain pen that was a push fit. This one locks very solidly. And it's still brilliantly quick and easy to get out and start using. Now, the nib. This is one of those delightful things. The nib is really rather a delicious combination of silvery metal and gold coloured metal, as you can see there. It's got the Visconti name, it's got the Half Moon Visconti logo in the nib itself rather than the circular hole in the centre, air hole. And if you can read that, it says 23 carat, because this is not a gold nib. It's made out of another element, palladium. I believe that Visconti is the only firm that uses palladium for their nibs, but all I can say is it is absolutely heavenly to use. It is smooth, it is soft on the paper, it has a certain amount of flex to it, so you can get much broader downstrokes if you want. You have to be a bit careful about that, but it does give you an extra dimension to your writing. Really very lovely. So I absolutely adore these nibs. The one I'd really like is a 1.3mm stub, but for the work that I do that would be just a little bit over large, I think. Now, I mentioned at the back this blind cap. If I just unscrew that, this is the feed mechanism. Now, inside the main barrel of the pen is a parallel-sided cylinder, and there's a one-way valve inside here. When I pull this out, you can see that there's a rod. Now, when you push that rod in, it pushes a one-way valve down this parallel-sided tube until at the bottom there's a slight flare. So obviously as you're pushing it down, you're creating a vacuum behind the valve, and as soon as it gets to the flare, it sucks up all the ink. It's very difficult to see that work, but the best way to use a Visconti pen like this is to use the Visconti Traveller's Inkwell. I love this thing. I bought it a few years ago and it's absolutely magnificent. They are costly. Visconti is a very good brand name and their products are not cheap. However, it is one of the most useful devices I've ever bought in my life. Nice and simple, but it doesn't half work well. So, to make it work, you put the pen inside the top. You turn it upside down and then gradually push the tube in, and there at the very end it's just sucked up a whole load of ink. Now I don't know exactly how much ink this pen holds, but whereas my Conway Stewart pens would normally write for a few pages, this thing will keep writing for the whole morning and part of the afternoon as well. It is a delightful pen to work with. So there we go. One functioning, very delightful Visconti Homo Sapiens. So what do I like about this pen? What do I not like about it so much? Well, when it comes to what I don't like about it, that's rather problematic because I love the feel of it. It's a good large size in my hand, which I like writing with. I love the nib, which has this brilliant feel and works superbly every time. It has the right sort of weight for me, and I absolutely adore the fact that it is next to impossible to damage it. That surface just will not get scratched or nicked or damaged in any way. You're much more likely to break your floor when you drop this pen than break the pen. I really like the fact that I can have my initials in the top of the cap. I really like the bayonet fit that's so quick and easy. Basically, I absolutely adore this pen. I use it every day now. It is my standard go-to pen no matter what work I'm doing. So there you have it, the Visconti. I'll just give a little bit of a demonstration of how it writes, because I think it's worthwhile always to be able to see. So here we go. Visconti Homo Sapiens, and now you can't really tell obviously, but it is just awesomely smooth, an absolute delight to write with. And you can, as I say, get some pretty good variation on your lines if you want to, just by using a little bit of extra pressure. So there you go. Visconti Homo Sapiens. Absolutely wonderful pen, and I'm very pleased with it. There you go. Visconti Homo Sapiens. Visconti Traveller's Inkwell. Both are superb pieces of equipment, beautifully designed, very comfortable to use. I thoroughly recommend them both. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments box down the bottom. If you want to share it and tell your friends and get loads of other people watching this, I wouldn't actually be upset. And also, if you've got other ideas for things that you'd like to see me review or talk about, I'd be very happy to carry on with that. So for now, thanks very much and speak to you soon. Cheers.